This is Brad Bell and Jane Espeson, and we're here to talk about Husbands, your brand new web series that I'm really excited about. Can you tell me the characters? There's a gay guy and a baseball player that's a gay guy and the best friend.
Yeah.
And they go to Vegas and they get married, and then what happens?
Wow.
Well, they wake up drunk married because they were celebrating a marriage equality law. And, well, you know, there's a media firestorm because one is a baseball player and one is sort of a tabloid Kardashian-esque type anyway. And, well, and then, you know, the only thing that would look worse would be getting divorced. Because it already looks bad that they got drunk married, because this is exactly what we warned you about, is what all the conservatives are saying. Then
So
what?
they decide they're going to make a go of it.
Yeah.
And so we go into season 2. They've been married 3 weeks. And okay, now they're supposed to be keeping this low profile, but Cheeks is tweeting pictures of them kissing. And
Which outrages everybody, but I'm
Yeah.
sorry, if Taylor Swift had done that, people would say it was adorable.
So we get, and then that's how we introduce Joss Whedon into our show. Is Joss
Yes.
Whedon plays Brady's agent, and
Plays
he
the
is,
man, the establishment.
right? And he's not happy that his client is out there canoodling on
No.
camera.
Now he calls up and he's like, "This is inappropriate."
So this is a web series, and where can we see the web series?
Where can we see it?
Lovehusbands.com.
What
That's
was
where
that?
you can check out husbands. Love husbands. Because they are in love and you will love husbands.
Yeah, go to lovehusbands.com. All the episodes are there. They're about 8 minutes each, so it's not a big commitment, and I think I'm really proud of it. We're both really proud of it.
Yeah. The first season I noticed is they're only about 2 minutes, and they're just the funniest things, and then the format changes, so we get a lot more at once, and the character arc for the writing and the development is just so intriguing to me, because Jane, I know that you've written for a lot of big shows, and how is it as a woman you're writing 2 gay men that are married and you're a woman? How do you connect that? Because I watched the show, and the gay guys that I know, they act exactly like the gay guys I know. So how do you write a gay character, or for that matter, a sci-fi character that's a vampire or something? What's your
I think any writer should be able to write anything. If the character has any humanity in them, you write them based on your own humanity. It's not as hard as people think. However, I was greatly aided in this because Brad really is the writer. Brad wrote, Cheeks wrote the first draft of almost everything you see in Husbands. I went through, did my little potchki, I hand it back to him, he potchkis on my potchki. We end up with a draft that is very much the two of us. So I never have to go, is this what Cheeks' take would be on this political situation? I go, Cheeks, what's your take on this political situation? he really shapes the story of how these guys would react, what they would say. So I'm never mind reading.
Yeah, no, you did write something once that was funny where I can't remember what the reaction was, but I remember thinking, like, this is what a woman would do. This is not what a man would do. And I can't remember, it was something about, like, being hurt and, like, wanting to communicate about it. Like, and then he tries to have a talk with Brady, and I was like, hell no. He's going to get back at him by competing in some way, like being better than him. Which I'm sure plenty of women would do. I guess maybe I should say masculine or feminine. I don't know, but there was just some sort of thing where I felt like, huh.
That could be masculine, feminine, that could just be our personality.
Or it could be,
a confrontational
maybe
person.
it is a specifically gay thing where you've got that more competitive sense than you might in a heterosexual relationship because you are the same.
Yeah, that's
It could be a number of different things.
I tend to think it's just that you are you handle situations more head on than I do. I tend to go
That's
for
true.
diplomacy and kindness. You tend to go for
No, oh, come on, don't spin it like that. You tend to go for, ooh, whoa, that hurt my feelings, I'm gonna go cry. And I'm gonna say, like, oh, hell no.
Well, that was what I found really interesting with the characters, because the baseball player's name, what is his name again?
Brady.
Brady. So Brady seems like he doesn't wear the pants in the relationship. It's Cheeks, which is your character, Brad, which I find extremely intriguing, because you have this very stereotypical male I'm the first, and he's not just the baseball player for the LA Dodgers. He's the first baseman,
first
which is
alpha
the
baseball player.
Right.
alpha male. And then he gets home, and you have a fight about the dog, of who's gonna have the dog. I'm sorry if I'm giving spoilers away. We have a big spoiler alert. So, and it would be something that a woman, you know, you have this big baseball player going, I don't know, I don't want a dog, and you're like, no, but he's so cute, and you love him, and you have the best friend. So it's more the male machismo that I'm ganging up with
Right.
my female friend on, you poor baseball player, because you really don't wear the pants.
Oh, that's interesting.
You didn't see that when you wrote it?
No, I saw it more like, I mean, what you're talking about is there, but I saw it in a different way. Like, yes, that leads to the point where Cheeks says, you know, this you're perceiving yourself as the powerful, in control one because you're the masculine one. Like, let's get one thing straight, dude. And yeah, I think that that's a more interesting dynamic to have Cheeks be the smarter one, the more aggressive one. Yeah, and Brady is much more, let's just go with the flow, and he's not nearly as quick or adaptable, and because he hasn't had to be. He's had the straight advantage of, like, nobody can tell I'm gay, so he's kind of got white male privilege in a way that Cheeks has never had. And I think that's a lot more interesting than showing Cheeks as the brainless, aloof, kind of vacant one, because that would make him two-dimensional. That would make him a stereotype.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's feminine, but that doesn't equate, you know, weakness. And just because Brady's the more masculine one doesn't mean he's the one in charge.
Here's what I love about that is I think a lot of people would go, oh, we're going to do a funny thing. We're going to give you the masculine guy and the feminine guy, and guess what? The twist is the feminine guy is the more dominant, more in charge, the one with all the opinions. But they won't think of a reason why. It will just be a flip for the sake of the flip. What I loved about what Cheeks just said is he gave the reason why Brady hasn't had to develop an aggressive way of dealing with the world around him. The world brings him things. Was not bringing Cheeks anything. Cheeks has had to develop that personality as his only way to interface with the world and never get anything out of it. So it's not just like a flip. It's a motivated and probably quite substantial in the real world difference that people who just write the stereotype don't get. What we've taken is we've taken someone who someone might say is stereotypical, and we've said, okay, what is someone who looks and acts like this really about?
Like, why?
Yeah.
Why is this person this way, and how do they react to the world as a result of having the experience they have?
So I think season 2, you have the dynamic of there's a Facebook picture posted, like you said, with Taylor Swift. How is that going to play into their relationship? Because that seems like you open with that in season 2, and that seems like that's going to be a cornerstone. And I know a lot of couples that you want to be out, but you don't want to be out. You may be out to your friends, but you're not out to your family. Does that play into any part of the character development of this one seemingly simple act? Like you said, if Taylor Swift did it, it would be perceived as cute.
Right.
But there's this baseball player, and
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I think that it's an unfair thing. Like, I saw there was a thread of people talking about the episode where Cheeks tweets the picture, and somebody was like, you know, that's really insensitive. His husband's career is jeopardized as a result, and he still doesn't get it. It's so selfish. And I'm like, why should it be? Why? The whole point is, why is my husband's career jeopardized as a result of a picture of us kissing? That's stupid. Like, why should I conform to that? Like, oh, honey, I don't want to jeopardize your career by doing absolutely nothing wrong that 90% of the population is allowed to do. Like, what? Why? And so that's sort of the conversation, is it starts there with that double standard, and how they're going to present themselves to society, which I think, you know, whether you're gay or straight, you go through that in any relationship. You know, here's our identity as a unit, here's what we share about ourselves that we don't. You know, it's like the conversation that girls have with their girlfriends, and the guy's like, I don't want you talking about what we did in bed last night, or, you know, on the flip side, where the guys are in the locker room and the girls are like, you know, don't talk about our sex life, you know, because it's too personal, it's too private. Is this conversation that Cheeks and Brady are having about that's too personal, that's too private, you're not respecting me? Or is it, no, you're being ridiculous to try and live up to some standard that society has rather than to break through and rebel against it?
And one of the things I love about husbands and about the way this particular storyline plays out is that what starts out that's seeming like a very political debate actually ends up coming down to a marriage. And that's one of the things we really set out to do with Husbands, to show that this couple deals with couple stuff. Ultimately, it's always about couple stuff when you get down to it.
And I think, we had a Time magazine article, I think is the one that said that it starts, like most shows about an issue like this will start at the
Right.
personal level and try to show you how that is, reflective of a bigger social conversation.
Right.
And this one, because the characters are celebrities, which was an intention of ours, was to go in reverse, like start with these big topics and then work your way down into how they really affect people on a personal level.
So we can see it at,
Lovehusbands.com.
okay, and are we gonna have another, you did a crowdfunding campaign? Is there another crowdfunding campaign that the viewers can,
Not currently.
Yeah, not as of right now, there's not.
okay, but if they go and watch the episodes, and I know
Yeah.
that you guys comment back and forth with the fans,
Yeah.
which I think is just fantastic. Maybe they can post and like, hey, we wanna
Yeah.
see bigger, more, and better, and
If they want bigger, more, and better, we'd be happy to do it. So anything's possible.
excellent. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.